is Tarik Talk. Your host, Tarik Mendes, takes you on a journey with guests from all around the world. Broadcasting around the world. Around the world. This is Tarik Talk.
Guys, today I'm here with Keely. Keely, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you for being on the podcast today. Do you mind sharing your Instagram with us?
Yeah, it is just my first and last government name. It's Keely, Keilley Banks. Keely Banks.
Love that. Everybody go check her out. Follow. She has amazing work. Do you want to start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm originally from New Jersey.
Okay.
But I moved around quite a bit, and I think that's definitely influenced my work a lot. I mean, it's kind of just been up and down the East Coast, but it was at very young ages, so I think that definitely influenced the way that I see the world and the way that I meet people. And yeah, so I've been living in Brooklyn for about 3 years now.
Oh, wow.
I officially became like a full-time artist, whatever that means.
Oh, congrats.
About a year ago, after working in finance for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I kind of just like had a big life change. I just had an epiphany, and I was like, this is not me anymore. I'm someone else.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of started doing art for real.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. And it took about a year for me to like get my head wrapped around the fact that this was like my new reality.
Yeah.
And now I am an art director at a gallery in Brooklyn called
that's
Brooklyn
so
Art Cave.
cool. And then do you want to tell us, like, how is your creative process? Like, how do ideas come to you?
Yeah, so I think that ideas come to me definitely through people, and my relationships with people.
Yeah.
And I try to surround myself with both people, but also like in spaces that, you know, really inspire me and represent like my community and, you know, the people that I paint. All of my work is like Black portraiture and also queer portraiture. So I try to spend most of my time in those spaces, just being inspired by like the relationships that people form, the relationship they form with me, with each other. And I'm a really observant person. I like to talk to people, and I like to, you know,
what
be
sign
on,
are you?
But I'm a Libra.
Oh, you're a Libra?
I'm a Libra.
Cool.
Yeah, I like to be out and talking to people, but I'm also an observer,
and
so I spend a lot of time like by myself, and I go out to cafes or I go to spaces and I just like go to meet people and just observe and just like take a part of my community, you know, be a part of it, and then create my work that represents it.
And then I noticed like your paintings are very detailed, very colorful. When you get to the studio, like, what's your process like? Are you able to get to work right away, or do you kind of like to like meditate, have a coffee, get the vibes, and then get to work?
Yeah, so I have kind of a weird process. I do something called like, I just call it like an all day paint, or it's just like a very long painting session.
Oh, wow.
Aside from like my new collection that I'm working on, because it is something that is just taking a lot longer. It's more detailed than the rest of my work has ever been. But before, all of my work is kind of based off of what I'm feeling and what I'm sensing in my world. And so like I'll be feeling something, and then like I'll see a reference image, or I'll see like a person on the street and I'll like ask to take their photo or something.
Oh, wow, that's so cool.
And it's just like, or like a look on someone's face, like I'm feeling exactly like that.
Yeah.
And then so I'll like be inspired by that, and then I will essentially like take the reference image, you know, or however I want to do it, trace out what I want on the canvas, and then I will sit there until it is done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so it always starts with a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Out of one of my mugs, which are available online.
Ooh, nice plug-in, yes. Do you want to share your website?
Yeah, it's colorsbykb.bigcartel.com.
Nice.
All my stuff is for sale on there. I have lots of merch and things. But yeah, every morning and every paint session, I always start up with a cup of coffee. And I drink it out of a mug. I start off every painting session with a cup of coffee, and then I just sit down in the most comfortable outfit that I can put on, and I just start, and I just keep going all night. And so sometimes, like, when I get inspired, it could be 11 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Which is also why it's a little hard to have a regular 9 to 5 job.
Especially work in finance and be creative. That's crazy. Yeah.
Sometimes when this process starts, it's like 11 p.m. So I just have to, I get the idea and I have to do it then. Because I don't think that it always comes at the right time, you know, and I can't really depend on the fact that I'm going to feel creative, like first thing when I wake up in the morning. I have a life, you know, I have bills to pay, I have other things to do and focus on. Although I am a full-time artist, like art is also a business. So, you know, I have to spend a lot of my time like answering emails and writing pitches for myself and stuff like that. So it's not always a super creative thing being an artist. But when it does happen, you have to jump on it. And sometimes that's from the hours of 11 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Oh, wow. And you're able to like paint through and...
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's another talent right there.
Strong cup of coffee.
Wow.
Strong cup of coffee.
That sounds like 5 espressos to me. And lots of loud music.
Exactly.
And then how do you keep track of your ideas? Like when you get inspired, do you jot down something very... I just met you, but I'm taking a lucky guess. You seem to have like a photogenic memory, like you take like, you know, photo memory. I'm kind of like that too, but the way you're talking about observing, I do that sometimes with my memory. But do you like write down ideas and stuff like that? Yeah,
so I think that like typically like you're right, like I do kind of have a photographic memory. When I see like, especially like I said earlier about like seeing the expressions on people's faces, that's really like something that does it for me, especially on the train. Like, so being in New York in general is like a huge
inspiration. I feel like people on the train are their most authentic self, because whatever they're going through, you see right on their face.
Exactly.
And we think we're safe because we're in front of the strangers. We'll never see people, but you know what I mean?
No, like I'm watching. like guaranteed I'm looking at you on the train. Because I'm observing your life and I want to paint about it. But yeah, so I do kind of have like a photographic memory in a way, just like memorizing the looks on people's faces. And I think that helps me create the emotion in the paintings, but also like I also like write poetry and I write my notes a lot. Like I'm constantly like I wanted to be a writer when I grew up, so I also write a lot, and so like a lot of these things kind of move together, and like it's like I'll paint about an overall feeling. Like the work I'm doing right now, it's called Lend Me a Hand, the piece that I'm working on here at this gallery opening. And it's essentially about like this has been the hardest time as an artist in my life. I've never experienced challenges like I am right now, to be honest with you. And but I've just learned that I've always been such an independent person, but I've learned that like you really do, like sometimes you need someone to lend you a hand, and like you need the village, as they say. You need the village. Like you cannot do this alone, like at all. Like in New York City, generally as a person. What do you mean, like if you don't mind sharing, like if you don't mind elaborating? What do you mean, like it has been the hardest? Like you mean like creatively or? I would say it's not even creatively, like but the business side of it, and just kind of figuring out like how to be an artist in New York City, like and like afford my apartment, and like also like. I think that a lot of the part of being an artist in today's society is also like staying on social media and like making sure you're out at events, making connections and all of these things, and like keeping track of that has just been, it's been challenging for me. I think like networking's always been like pretty easy for me generally, but I think in this space having to be so on, it takes away from my creativity a lot. And so like I've just been trying to balance all of it. And then like all of the like natural being in your 20s mental health things, all of that at once, and then and life on top of that, and like going from like such a low-key like highbrow job to like now being creatively free, creatively free, but also like an artist in New York. The budget's different now, and dealing with the realities of that. Has been a challenge for sure, and also like being able to take opportunities. Like there's opportunities that I've gotten that I haven't been able to pursue because not being able to afford it and things like that. So just like trying to figure out how to do this for real successfully. But it's coming together. It's working. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That was beautiful and definitely motivation for a lot of people listening. And is there anything that you like want to do in the future in terms of like mediums or projects, whether it's like large sculptures or pottery, clay, or anything like that? Yeah, so two things. So I think that medium-wise, I'm really obsessed with spray paint right now. I'm actually spray painting something for the first time tomorrow for an event, which is going to be fun. I'm working with another artist on like a Fashion Week project. Oh, that's so cool. That he's doing. It's going to be awesome. But I'm spray painting for the first time. So I want to like get more into that. Like I low-key want to tag stuff. Oh, cool. Like I feel like it's just like I'm really into street art right now. And some of my favorite artists that do street art are here at this event tonight. And just like I'm so inspired by all of them, and like I think that you know, I have so much art in my apartment, but like I want it on the street. Like I want to see it everywhere, and I would love to do a mural, but until then, you know, like I would like to do an outside mural, but until then, you know,
that's so cool.
Might have to see some spray paint, you know, and see how that works. But then also like next for me, like I really want to like take my work internationally. So I got into a residency program in France.
Oh, congratulations. When is that happening?
Thank you. It should be at the end of November. I'm in the fundraising process of trying to get myself
Is it this year?
Yes.
Oh my God, congratulations.
So it's coming up. Thank you. Thank you.
What part of France?
It's like the south of France.
Oh, the best part of France.
No, exactly. I'm so excited about it. It's going to be like I love the hustle bustle of the city. I love how inspired I am being here, but like
nothing beats just like unplugging yourself for a little bit and then coming back, right?
Yes, like I just need, it's going to be for a whole month. I just need to go there and just like make art. Like that's the goal. I just want to like go there. I have so much in my mind. I have so much I need to create, but literally no time to do it. I'm out here like hustling. So, you know, I just need the time away. And so I'm really excited about it and like for what work will come out of that.
That's so cool. And now that you're creatively free, do you ever find yourself when you're doing something creative, like do you ever have flashbacks of your like 9-to-5 strict finance job and then you come right back to reality like, oh, thank God I'm not there anymore?
No, literally, like it's funny, like because I feel like I was a whole different person back then. Like I literally feel like I had an entirely different personality. Like I just was not myself at all, you know, and I'm just generally free as a person more now. And it's like funny because you would think that like when I'm in the happiest times where that's when I'm most grateful that I've changed my life, but it's like even when I'm in the hard artist parts is when I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I'm having this problem, but I'm like, but I could always be having the problems I used to have.
Yeah, which is way worse, right?
Yeah, which is like that was just bad for me on like an emotional, spiritual level. Like that was like a bad sitch for me. Yeah, and like I'd rather have these like little problems that I'm having now. They're not little, but they're just like, you know, like a little bit of money, a little bit of,
it's like spontaneous problem versus
it's just like not like a holistic like my heart hurts problem. You know, like I'd rather have these current problems than those problems. Like I'm so grateful that I've done this with my life.
No, because I have friends in finance and I always tell them like, you during the weekday at work is so different from like when I see you on the weekend or like when we go on vacation together. It's like two different people.
No,
you
seriously.
know, it's like the amount of stress. It's like, dude, you're gonna have a heart attack, God forbid, you know, knock on wood. But it's like, it's crazy.
It felt that way.
All of you, like, it takes your soul almost.
No,
you know?
it's like, and like, why was I like 23 years old handling $1 billion deals like for mergers? I'm like, that's insane. Like I should, like I'm stressed out. Like I'm
it's like the pressure.
Like when like we're low-key supposed to be like in the forest, like experiencing life and making art and having a good time. Like no, like, but I do think there just needs to be like, I'm just a more creative person. I need to be doing this. I can't be doing anything else.
And what advice do you have for like young creatives that are like stuck in that position where, because I get this a lot, like young kids or like young artists asking like, oh, how do I take that step? I don't have the confidence. Like, what can I do? I want to be an artist, but I don't know how to. Like, what advice would you give them to like take that first step, like to like follow their dream, follow their heart?
I think that I would tell them to get involved in the community. I think that like, you know, I went to my first art show ever. You know, maybe 2 years ago now, and I showed my work at it. But also before that, I had never been to an art show. I was like nervous about it. I didn't know any other artists or anything, so I was coming into it like brand new. And I went to the show. I met so many people, and like I will tell you, like without those people that I met at my very first show, like I still work with those people today.
Nice, wow.
Like I still like they've given me like amazing opportunities, like and vice versa. Like it's been incredible, but I would say like meet people. Like for artists, like you can be an amazing artist, but also if you're just an amazing artist in your apartment, like that's cool. But like, you know, if you want to,
now what?
but like if you want to like you pursue this like for real, you need to be out there like meeting people and like being inspired by other people and figuring out how it works. And because also there's so many different ways that you can make a career out of this besides just doing paintings. You know, like you can work with the school system, like you can do murals for them, you can be an art teacher, like you can like run art programs, like you can do all of these different things with it. And so you don't know until you start asking. And so just like networking, kind of like any other industry, to be honest. I mean, I think that's why I ended up being like, I don't want to be like I'm successful, but like I ended up being like moving more quickly in the art world than I think I would have if I didn't have like the networking business background that I have. But it kind of all is about that. I've learned it all works together.
Oh, that's amazing advice. And let's do like a time machine kind of, right? So November, when you're done with the residency, you can listen to this podcast episode and look back. What's something that you want to take away from this residency that you hope to accomplish? Not only artistically, but like spiritually and everything else.
I think that like I'm ready to be like comfortable being in quietness. You know, I think I'm really looking forward to it being quiet. And I think that there's so many feelings that I have and so many things that I want to represent in my work, but I just haven't had the space, like mentally or like physically or whatever, to do it, or the time. And so I'm just like, I can't wait until I have this experience where I just have nothing but time, you know, and nothing but like the emotional space to like really say what I have to say. Because I have a lot to say. No, you seem like such an interesting person. Thank you. I just really want to make art that is like beautiful and is for like people, is like for my community, and then hopefully the goal is when I get back to have another solo show that is just of my work that I made in France. So that's the goal.
That's dope. Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. If you don't mind, can you share your Instagram and your website where we can get some mugs and some cool stuff too?
Yeah, of course. So my Instagram is my name. It's Keilly Banks. So KeillyBanks. And my website where you can get mugs and lighters and bookmarks and all my other merch is colorsbykb.bigcartel.com.
Perfect. Thank you again, and hopefully we see each other in France.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope you had an amazing residency. Thank you again.
Thank you for listening to Tarik Talk. Follow Tarik Talk on all social media channels and check out the video interviews online. This is Tarik Talk. Your host, Tarik Mendes, takes you on a journey with guests from all around the world. Broadcasting around the world. Around the world. This is Tarik Talk.
Okay, guys, I am here today with Samela. Did I get that right?
You got it right.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
I can already tell we're going to have fun. You have such good energy and vibes. Do you want to start off by telling us your Instagram, please?
Absolutely. It is Samela Block, and Block is my company. So it's SAMELLABLCK. No O.
Perfect. Thank you for spelling that. Do you want to start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. I am a entrepreneur at heart turned curator and creator, and I'm just allowing myself to express what comes to my heart, what comes to my mind, and it's giving that it's just all very streamlined and beautiful. So I'm just living my best life, really, though.
Ooh, period. Do you want to tell me about the artwork you have on display now?
Absolutely. This 3-day exhibition is about homecomings, and my company Block is a home exchange marketplace. Wow. And so I thought of a creative way to tell the story, and the collection is called Home is Where the Heart Lives. And in this collection, we wanted to show people that the heart and the home is really something very personal to yourself, and that should be able to travel freely, and it's usually found in experiences, people, memories, and moments. And so once we give ourselves the ability to allow our hearts to travel, we can see these things in places. So it's 4 short films, just under 30 seconds, and the idea is to invoke these feelings in the viewers so that they can start finding home in the places and spaces that they occupy.
That's beautiful. And how are you inspired to come up with such an amazing idea like that?
So originally it was like brand awareness, honestly. But once I started creating the collection, actually the the collection was creating me for months, and I didn't even realize it. But once I started putting it on paper and trying to ensure that it was cohesive, Block logo has a heart in it. And so I've been telling this story in a home exchange.
Subconsciously,
Exactly. And so home exchange is me saying, I trust you to allow you to stay in my space. But by you staying in my space, you may be inspired. You may see something that you didn't recognize. And so I believe that traveling is one of those things that allow people to transform and morph into this new person. And so the heart goes with us. It begins to form. And so it just kind of came together that the best way to tell this story is through short films and allow people to see it's okay for your heart and home to be in this place at this stage in life, in this place at this stage in life.
Yeah. And is this your first time exhibiting this work?
So yes, this is my first time exhibiting this work, but I've done a collection in Miami. I just moved here from New York,
from
Miami 90 days ago. And so during Art Basel 2020, I did a collection called The Art of Hospitality. Yeah. And that was for my first startup. And that was also taking viewers on a journey of understanding how hospitality can feel and how it should feel. And I did that independently, just really on the same type of energy and time of brand awareness, but it meant so much more on the other side and just creating it. And so when I seen this theme of homecomings, it just said it's time. Go tell this story now with Block.
The universe is saying go for it, right?
It just all aligned and it's beautiful. It's amazing. I'm happy to be here.
And then what are you inspired by? Like, how do ideas come to you?
Ideas come to me when I sit in gratitude.
Ooh, wow.
When I'm sitting in gratitude, I just...
That sounds like Maya Angelou right there. Wow.
Listen, it really... Because when I'm sitting in gratitude, I'm just like, there is no way possible that you can even be remotely upset. Because look around you. You are so blessed. Look at the experiences. Look at the people that you have. Look at them. If you start checking your receipts, look at the memories that you have done and the places you've been. And so... it naturally makes this new energy rise up. And I'm like, you're right. That's awesome. Yeah. Where else do we want to go? What else do we want to do? What other type of experiences? And so gratitude is really one of the places that I draw some of the most creative work because it's the most authentic place.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This is like beautifully said. You reminded me, I interviewed an artist last week and she was telling me about glimmer. I guess, do you know what that is?
Lemon?
Glimmer. So you know how some people say they have triggers?
Okay.
So like if they see something that triggers like PTSD in their previous life. Okay. So she was teaching me about glimmer. And I'm like, glimmer is what? Is it something with glamorous? Right. Glimmer? She says, no, glimmer is moments that you learn to appreciate and look out for positive things. So instead of looking out for horrible things like that you previously experienced that triggers you, you look out for things that make you happy and grateful.
That is beautiful.
You know, and I was like, glimmer? I was like, okay, I'm going to start glimming now, right? And I did it like 2 days, and my whole attitude, everything changes in your life. You know, being able to have water, being able to access for food, shelter, electricity. Like, this is like something 75% of the world population doesn't have access to.
And we are in such a moment that it could be anybody's game. Yeah. And so if you start looking at it from a place of glass half full, glimmering in the world, I didn't even know that there was a word, but that I've been walking around saying I'm in an ultimate state of bliss. Yeah. But it's purely because I am really grateful for where I am, and I'm only magnetizing and calling in other people who are also in this happy place and happy space. And so that's what my reality represents. So anybody who tells me that the reality is dark and gloomy, I want them to understand that they get what they're representing.
Absolutely. I love how you say that, not only beautifully but so politically correct, because like I've been doing a lot of spiritual work lately, and I used to when I was younger, but I stopped because, you know, life and work.
Life happens.
But now, like I was telling my friends, I was like, now if I don't meet people with like the higher frequency and vibration who manifest, do affirmations, now it's not even like we're gonna talk. It's like if I say, "Oh, how's your day going?" Even if I had a bad day, I'm gonna try to do the best as I can.
Absolutely.
You know, it was rainy, but I saw the most beautiful rainbow. If I hear a friend of mine tell me, "Oh, it was horrible," I'm like, "Okay, bye. We'll talk later when you're happy." You got to do that. You got to protect your peace.
Absolutely.
You know?
But if it's someone that I love, I try to redirect them, and then if they are unredirectable, then I'm just like, well, maybe you need to sit in that. You need to sit in that, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep la 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 and around the world. world and being happy and grateful. Because you're right, like everybody don't want it. They say they want it, but everybody's not ready to receive it.
Or
and
do
my
the work.
energy is not allowed to like. I can try to help you. I've been saying lately, I don't match energy. I shift it.
Yeah, love that.
Because you have to decide where you're going to allocate your energy to.
Yeah.
Because then you're protecting your heart.
Exactly. Yeah.
And your thoughts. And who you get to
Maya
become.
Angelou, where you said it reminds me of something, because it's my favorite quote. Whenever I have to like something big in my career that I'm scared or I'm intimidated, she said, I come as one, but I sin as 10,000. Meaning all of her ancestors. I get goosebumps every time I say this. But every time I have to show up to a meeting that I'm not sure, or it was like last minute, I'm not prepared for, I always think, okay, this is like, you know, I'm originally from Brazil, so I always think, okay, this is like for everybody who didn't get an opportunity, who always wanted to do something that I'm doing. So I come as myself, but I show up as 10,000. I have like so much. You see the goosebumps?
It's really
like amazing.
It's beautiful because even when you show up in your true, authentic self, you have gifted somebody else permission to do the same thing. And that's why you do have to show up, even when you don't know how it's going to turn out. But the ancestral part, the people who don't have a voice and they've been waiting to see somebody that look like them, right? That's amazing.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful. Yeah. That's really good. I like that. I'm gonna take that one with me and put it in my pocket. And keep it, and pull it out as needed. Thank you.
Do it. And can you tell me more about your business that you founded?
Absolutely. So Block came from a need of necessity with the affordability crisis that we're staring at, with people wanting to travel. I am going to make myself run for president because traveling should be free. Traveling should be accessible to all humans, right? Because that's when we can unlock the things of the world and begin to experience. And so Block is a home exchange marketplace. And what we see is people traveling in a sustainable way to unlock a leisure lifestyle. We should not have to always be on the go. You know, and this is for the creative entrepreneurs. This is for people who value work-life balance, right? You should be able to go and travel without the healthy price tag of a lodging. So when you become a member of Block, which we call our neighbors, when you are a neighbor of Block, you can swap homes with other neighbors, and now we're building a trusted community. And so you need to be in LA this week and I need to be in Chicago, and so now you come to my home in New York, and then we just swap it, and then we're building this community of dope individuals who do hold themselves accountable, who do have beautifully decorated homes, who do want to build a network of dope people. And so I moved to New York to get that off the ground, especially in the wake of what's happening around short-term rentals and them being illegal. So I just think it's very timely and super important that we get our mission out and about.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And do you mind sharing the website and info for that?
Absolutely. So Block is BLCK, no O, but the website is www.theblock, so BLCK.io. And we're on Instagram at The Block, and all other social platforms is theblock.io.
Perfect. That's so dope. Yes. And how has the shift been from moving to Miami from to New York?
If I would have came any sooner to New York, I was supposed to be in New York 6 months ago. I left Miami December 1st en route to New York. And that's why I said the films were creating me, because I had the opportunity to spend 4.5 months in Chicago unknowingly. And that was the best thing that I didn't know I needed. And so it just unlocked my heart. I was able to reconnect with my family on a deeper level. I was able to see how far I've grown and come. And so coming to New York almost feels like the city welcomed me, but I was also here from a place of like, it took forever. And so now, you know, anything that you don't get immediately, when you do finally get it, there's an additional level of appreciation. And so with the timing aligned, the ultimate state of gratitude that I'm in, and even just kind of like the market, everything has been nothing short of beautiful. Every day I wake up and I'm like, I cannot believe I live in New York, y'all. I live in New York. That's so cool. And like, to be thriving on this level, I'm a really blessed girl. Very blessed.
I love your energy, and I hope the listeners take your positivity, your energy, your optimism and everything you shared. It's like a life lesson, and it does make the day better. Do you mind just sharing your Instagram one more time?
Absolutely. So I'm Samella, SAMELLABLCK. So Samella Block, one word.
Perfect. Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for taking the time during your beautiful, beautiful artwork to come speak with me. I'm so grateful. And definitely I hope we see each other again, because you have great vibes and great energy. It's been a pleasure, truly.
We definitely will stay connected. Thank you so much for even allowing me to come on your platform, because I'm not one, I wouldn't naturally call myself an artist, but I do believe that I am big on curation and individuality and authenticity. So if we're being honest, that's what makes an artist. So thank you for allowing me to step into my light even more by having me come on your podcast. It means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Till next time.
Thank you for listening to Tarik Talk. Follow Tarik Talk on all social media channels and check out the video interviews online.